Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. You didn't think I was going to hit the live button, did you?
I thought you might.
Welcome to Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am Scott Steehn, lead handicapper at winnersandwiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwiners.com.
And together, we get together and do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. A little show we call Back to the Window. That's what it says right there on the sign. So, yeah. Pretty excited to be here, Scott. I know you got close to a couple of big parlays over the weekend. Did you just reserve the Call the Cops segment for yourself?
No. There was one prop that I did have in there, or I had something similar to it, which I did mention in Call the Cops, but that's because it involves a pretty well-known player, and I'm sure a lot of people had one of the props that involved an injury, so to speak, in the second half. But yeah, it was pretty rough. I ended up having a winning day anyway, because the Jazz first half got there for me, but it's one of those where you have a slight winning day, but you have a chance to have a huge winning day.
Yep.
So you feel like you lost even though you won. You know what I mean?
I totally get that. Checking in with the comment section. T-Train in the hizzle. What up, Tony? How are you, bud? Hope everything is on track for you getting the shack open here pretty darn soon, right? I think it's like the end of April. So
is it a shack or is it a station?
Huh?
Is it a T-Train station or is it a T-Train shack?
I think it's like a seafood. It's like a seafood. It's like a shop, like a sandwich shop. I don't know if it's a shack. So Big X in the house. What up, Big X? Good to see you, bud. Scott, we shall never speak of our NASCAR results again.
Until one of us hits something. Kurt Busch, though, top 6.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Memorial Day weekend. That's right. End of May, not the end of April. Sorry, bud. So yeah, good to know that you're getting the time. And how would you describe it, Tony? Is it a shack? Is it a joint? Is it like a beachfront restaurant? Okay, there you go. All right, very good. I swear to God, I'm going to get up there, man. I would drive that far for a real lobster roll. Scott, here in Kansas City, we're forced to go to Captain D's for lobster rolls. It's scandalous, just absolutely.
That sounds scandalous. I can't believe they would force you to do such a thing.
It's it's like $4 for 2 of them. I can't pass it up. I'm sure there's nothing that even approaches lobster in there. It's white fish painted with a little bit of orange would be my guess. But ready, Tony. Bronco Devil in the house, ready to start turning right. Stop it.
The way that the thing is with NASCAR is that we do our recordings before qualifying.
That's right.
So if you noticed, for example, I know you liked Truex. Mm-hmm. He was the favorite. He had won 3 of the last 5. And his odds were like plus 550. He has an awful qualifying, and suddenly he's plus 900.
Right.
So we are already behind the 8 ball because we have to try to give our thoughts despite not knowing where the hell they're going to start. Now, in some speedway tracks, some real speedway tracks, you can overcome it. His starting position isn't as important. In Martinsville and some of these other tracks,
right?
Let's just say it would have been a lot better if we actually knew who was starting where.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see Peter Wolf in the house. Brad Crawford said he went down in flames yesterday with me with the Cards and Phils. Yeah, I liked both of those games. And you know what? I said it on my video. It's not going to be the last time I fade the A's. Not going to be the last time I fade the Pirates. Sorry, guys. No, Tony, it's not fake fish. It's just fake lobster. It's real fish. It's just like it's just like junk fish, or not junk fish, but like a white fish or something like that. So. Yeah, the heart of New England, man. I'm ready to make it up there. So, okay, so it was not a good. It was a decent weekend for you. Could have been better. I hit some plays that I didn't put out there, of course, and premiums did well yesterday. We went 3-0, so that was cool. JoJo Rabbit, what up, JoJo Rabbit? So it's good to see JoJo in the house. And Scott, we've got a new sponsor, but of course, before we talk about that, I want to make sure that everybody smashes the like button, subscribes, all that stuff. You know the drill. I know you guys that are here every day get tired of hearing it. Believe me, I get tired of saying it. But you know what? We're trying to catch those people that, just show up for the first time. They're like, hey, I kind of like what these guys are doing, or these guys are idiots, or whatever. Whatever reason you might come back and see the show again, definitely smash the like button and get subscribed to both the YouTube Winners and Winers channel as well as the YouTube Max Wagers Network channel. And speaking of Max Wagers Network, we are now partnered up for right now with DraftKings to get the baseball season started off right. You make your first deposit bet of $5 or more on any MLB money line. You win $200 in free bets. Yeah, you have to be physically located in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming, or West Virginia. There you go. Got to be 21, of course, or 21 or older. All the rules and everything are in the description for the video, and it is. I was looking for the code. It was, I believe. You know what? I'm not even gonna take a guess. Just look in the. I did put the code in the description of the video, so you can just click on that. All right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. DraftKings, good baseball numbers. Good baseball numbers. Not quite as, I'm not gonna lie, not quite as good as BetMGM, but they're getting there. They're figuring it out, bud. So, come on, Royals, get some runs. Yeah, I don't, Ninja. I can't watch the game. It's really frustrating. I have to hook it up through one of my pirate sites and everything, but I can't run the show and watch the game at the same time. So until the show's over, I won't be able to watch the Royals game. Sounds like I'm not missing much. I sat down yesterday. I had everything planned. I did some work early so I could take a couple hours and relax. Sit down, kick back in my recliner. So I'm going to watch the Royals game today. They Cleveland scored 6 in the first, 4 in the second. Like, oh, that was fun. So, Jesus. Yeah. Super Sly.
It's the third inning, though, in this game, so you got some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Super Sly in the house. Peter Wolf says, great steaks, bison burgers. Scott, you ever, don't like seafood? Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, to each their own. I know you're not a huge seafood guy. You ever had a bison burger, Scott?
A bison burger, I have not.
Yeah, it's not bad. No, not bad at all. It
sounds intriguing.
It's a lot more lean. It doesn't really taste gamey though. It's just kind of.
Is it actually a bison or is it a buffalo?
It's a bison. Don't even get me.
So it's not Colorado. It's not the mascot.
Don't get me started on this. Yes, the Colorado mascot is not a buffalo, Scott.
Yep.
We've talked about this before. Ralphie is a bison. New name will be the Surface Shack. As will be up on social media. Bigger fish to fry. Oh, I see what you did. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
The Surface Shack. The Surface Shack. Renzo Brothers. Farm bet. And and the Yee Hog. I'm going to keep watching this show. There you go. Rocky Mountain Oysters. No, sir. No, sir. No, J.C. Stone. You know what those are, Scott?
I'm assuming they're oysters from the Rocky Mountains.
Sure. They're balls. Okay. They're balls, Scott. That's what they are. Testicles. So makes my next question moot. I'm assuming you've never had them.
I have not.
Okay. Well, you need to get drunker in someplace that has Rocky Mountain oysters. They're fine.
I'll add it to my bucket list.
Very good. All right. So let's find out, man. It was a big weekend. NBA finished up. MLB getting going. It was their first weekend. Yes, it is Buffalo Balls. Thank you, Peter. Absolutely true. A lot of soprano buffalo singing there. So let's do it here, guys. Let's find out who it was. It was the Saturday, Sunday, a lot of games to choose from. Let's find out who took it in the shorts and who took it to the bank, Scotty. Who's the winners? Who's the whiners? Who's out there calling the cops? All right. Whoa, stop. Pull over already. My God. All right, Scott. So if you had the Diamondbacks team total, hang on, I'm here we go. We got all right. So we got fancy. There you go. We got fanciness. If you had the Diamondbacks team total under 3.5, they had 1 run heading into the 9th inning. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They ended up losing 10-5. You were beat. You just take it like a man and go home. Nope, couldn't do that. If you had the team total under, you were good, and then you weren't. Call the cops.
I meant 4 runs in the 9th, but either way, same bad beat. Then you had the opposite of my play today from yesterday. If you had the Trailblazers first half plus 10.5 against the Jazz, they trailed by 5 with 1:43 left in the second quarter. Utah closed the half on a 7-0 run, and Portland trailed by 12 at halftime.
Portland, not a good team, Scott.
It's one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but
I covered the first half spread of 10.5. Utah had no Mitchell, last minute scratch. They started 0 for 17 from 3. And they still covered the first half spread.
Yes, I saw your tweets about it.
Just saying. 0 for 17.
Very
Still
good.
cover a spread. It's impressive.
And finally, Scott, this one hits a little close to home for you. If you had Luka Doncic over 9.5 assists, he had 9 assists with 2:24 left in the third quarter. You're locked in. That's a win. Just go ahead and start spending that. Whoops. He injured his calf. It's a calf strain. He did not return, and the average time for calf strain, by the way, being out, about 2 weeks. Finished with 9 assists. If you had a Luka Doncic triple-double for the final leg of your 17-1 parlay, perhaps that is ultra-specific, and you should call the cops.
Yeah, I also was going to need 2 more rebounds. I wasn't sure if he was going to get there or not, but that was rough. I thought I had it in the bag because I was sweating out some other plays in that parlay that ended up winning. But, yeah, Luka getting hurt was pretty much the only way I would lose that bet, and he got hurt.
His name is Luka. He lives on the second floor, and now he's not going to be able to get up there because he can't walk. Very good.
So since it's supposed to take 2 weeks, I hate Utah as a team. I think the Jazz are awful, but...
Not a big fan of the state either.
I've never been to the Tabernacle, but do you think that Utah is now going to beat Dallas? Because Utah is the slight betting favorite for the series now. And once again, if Doncic was healthy, I would take Dallas. But you got to be concerned because Luka's the heart and center of the entire team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think they can play like Memphis played without Ja Morant. How about that?
Yeah, I agree with that too.
And I don't like, I'm with you. I don't like that Utah team. I don't think they go far. But a Doncic-less Mavericks team, yep. It's not going to be pretty.
I think he's going to play through it.
I think he's going to try.
The question is how well.
Yeah, I think he's going to try. I'm not sure how well he's going to do. So, yeah, we'll find out. All right, well, the opposite of that, that's the good news. This is the good news. The people that were had those nice, easy victories. You got to spend Sunday kicked back in the rocking chair.
So, first one's going to be on the Bulls, as they ended up getting 7 points against the Timberwolves. They led by 23 at the half, and they choked almost the entire game away, but they ended up winning by 4, plus 7 was never in doubt.
Yep, there you go. And secondly, man, I got a lot of buttons to push here, buddy. Hey, if you had the Clippers, minus 11.5, that wasn't much of a sweat as they went up against the Thunder. They led by 21 after the first quarter. You got to worry about them taking their foot off the gas, Scott. You know, they don't have anything to play for. They don't care. Well, you know who cared less? The Thunder. They ended up winning that game by 50. 50. That's right. 21 in the first quarter, win by 50. If you had the Clippers there, they don't get much more rockin' cherry than that. Congratulations.
And the last one's going to be the Cavaliers, minus 7.5 against the Bucks. Bucks had the most obvious tank job I've ever seen. And the Cavs were up 26 points after the first quarter, and they won by 18. Cleveland is now officially the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee kind of ducked Brooklyn potentially, but they are now the 3.
Yep, there you go. We talked about that before, about the kind of got to look.
I think it's smart by Milwaukee.
I do too.
I mean, besides the fact that you avoid potentially Brooklyn in the first round, the alternative is you're playing Chicago. I don't know if you followed the regular season meetings, but Chicago has gotten their asses kicked by Milwaukee the entire season.
Chicago's gotten their asses kicked by every team that has a pulse.
I'm saying Milwaukee especially. Milwaukee won the regular season series 4-0.
Oh, that's good too. Zach Fonsa, I love you too. How did that? Oh, okay. Oh, right. Shell's on
me a shout out.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, it's what have you done for me lately business around here. The MLB should not allow the Orioles to play ball games.
That is false, because if they can't play, how can we fade them?
That's right. Royals out 2-1. Okay, Bronco. All right. Royals got a little rally there. I thought about the over in that game too. Bronco Devil said, yeah, Luka under 30 was so lucky. Yeah, that's kind of the other side of that as well. What's up, Timmy Earl? Good to see you, bud. Sorry, man. We playing catch up here in the comment section. Doncic's getting the MRI today. Yeah, but they're going to Bronco Devil says guard Indians. Can't do it. Have you called them the Indians yet, Scott?
I've not. I've actually been pretty good at adjusting to new names. I didn't really call Washington the Redskins for the majority of the time. I was actually calling them the football team.
Yeah.
So I have been pretty good when it comes to remembering name changes. Not always, but usually I think I do a pretty good job with it.
I have found I've done better with the name changes than I have the city changes.
Okay.
I will still say San Diego Chargers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Double-digit times per season. So, Oakland Raiders, that was a thing. That was tempered a little.
Rams?
For some reason, the Rams, they... I will say St. Louis Cardinals on occasion because that was their football team, and of course it's still the baseball team. But overration MLB 101.
I think he meant overreaction.
Oh, okay. Who's got the worst pitching staff, Toronto or Texas? I'm still going to go with Texas there.
From top to bottom, it's Texas. Because
right.
Toronto at least has Romano. They have a closer that's actually pretty good. What does Texas have? They got nothing. Their number one starter is John Gray.
Yep.
Like that's an ultimate red flag. That's why I like the under on their win total this season. I mean, congrats, they won a game. They were down, 6-0? They were down 6-1 early in that game, and then Texas scored what felt like 30 runs.
11 unanswered.
Yeah, so they were getting killed, but the rotation and the bullpen are both terrible. Toronto's pitching has not been great this season, but you look at the overall rotation, Berrios and Ryu are supposed to be good. You still have Kikuchi. You're going to be getting Pearson at some point during the year as well as the youngster. Not Baltimore. I think actually Baltimore might have the worst pitching staff. I think it's definitely a debate. Pittsburgh as well, honorable mention there. But I would say out of those two, Texas easily has the worst pitching staff out of those two teams. Like, not even close.
Somebody asked about the hockey game tonight. Got Winnipeg going up against Montreal. I like the over.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Montreal's both these teams have just been bleeding goals lately. You got a thought on the side?
I'd lean to Winnipeg. I know Jake Allen got injured last game, which is why Montembeault ended up coming in relief. He played pretty well, but he's a terrible goalie. I mean, he's giving up 3.61 goals per game, has a save percentage below 90%. He's a terrible goalie. I think Winnipeg probably gets 4 or 5 across. So I like the over, but I also like Winnipeg. That line seems a bit short.
Okay. Sean Higgs, by the way, shout out to Sean. He does his show every day, Midday Money. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do. Over there on the Max Wagers Network and Picks and Parlays at noon Eastern time. He says, breakout's coming for Dane Dunning. Scott, Dane Dunning is one of those guys that we've talked about a lot because he's got good stuff, but he just hasn't really been able to put it together.
He's on the right team because if you compare him to the other starters on the team, suddenly he looks pretty great. I mean, I think Dunning's fine. I don't think he's amazing by any means, but he's okay. I mean, that's how I'd phrase it. Comparing, that's what I'm saying, though. Your number one starter in the rotation is John Gray. So suddenly Dunning looks a lot better than he did the year prior because, I mean, they're going to rely on him a lot more when they have even limited expectations. Can I say Texas expectations? They paid like $400 million during the offseason.
Yeah. I think you can say that. Who cracked Oscar Mercado again? Jesus Christ. Hey guys, here's an idea. Maybe not pitch to him. Hit the grand slam yesterday.
Yeah, Hernandez not having a great start to the season.
No, that was kind of what I was definitely worried about Hernandez not keeping up to what he did last year. So, I don't often comment here, guys, but I love your call to cops in the rocket chair. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Absolutely. I'm so happy with like the merger, Scott. I like everybody that we've had contact with. We've talked to basically guys from every show. And I'm a big fan.
Yeah, we had great stories from Allie on Friday.
Yeah, boy. If you guys If you wanted to
that was real left turn mania.
If you wanted to get to know Allie a little bit better, go back and check out the Allie segment there after about a quarter after. We learned a lot. I'll just say that we learned a lot.
Good stories.
Yeah.
Grab some popcorn, kick your feet up. It's good stuff.
T-Train asking about the carrot. I have not seen the carrot.
I thought you took care of the carrot.
I've not seen the carrot here lately. I just assumed Carrot would be back under an assumed name. Sometimes he takes little breaks, but yeah, I don't know. No Carrot. Impulse Marriage. Allie. Allie is my new life hero. Yes, Peter. When I grow up, I want to be just like Allie. No question. I thought I'd done some stuff, but I've done nothing. Compared to Allie, I've done nothing. Oops,
compared to you,
okay, that's funny.
I've done absolutely nothing.
Well, you're young. I hadn't done shit I'd done a little bit when I was your age, but nah, you're saving up, buddy. You're in a good spot. You're moving into your own joint here in a month or so. You're headed to Brooklyn, man.
It's not even a month. It's like literally 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, cool. James Mounts, I totally agree. I will 100% agree that Allie's stories were every bit and better than mine. No doubt about it. I tip my cap to Allie's stories. It was and we went pretty down the rabbit hole there, Scott. T-Train was asking about your Yankees tonight, buddy. You want to talk about the Yankees? They
won a series.
They avoided They couldn't quite get the sweep, but they did get 2 out of 3 there from the dreaded Bostonians. How do you like them tonight?
Well, I can't say they deserve the sweep, but they left like 15 guys on base. They had a lot of chances. They just didn't capitalize at all. But the team's been okay. As for the lineup, it's mostly been, well, to be honest, 2 guys. It's been Rizzo and Steehn. Stehn's been nuts, but I mean, you're going down the line. Judge hasn't really done that much. I know DJ had a homer in the opener. Gallo is a big wind energy guy because he just doesn't even come close to touching the ball. Made money, though, on opening day with no hit. If you bet him pretty much the entire series, you did pretty well, or you faded him the entire series. He had 1 hit, and he got thrown out at second base. That was all Gallo did at the plate. He walked a couple of times, but he's been a disaster. Yeah, I mean, they've been fine. The bullpen's been good. I like Manoah, though. I think Manoah is definitely a very solid pitcher. Taillon, I'm a little bit torn with because he's a very streaky pitcher, and he's also had some injury issues in the past. And that definitely was the case at the end of last year, where he got banged up once again. I do like Toronto at roughly even money, maybe even slightly plus money, just because if I know Toronto has a shot at getting to Taillon, and I have questions about the Yankees lineup besides Stanton and even Donaldson's been pretty good as well. But Stanton, Rizzo, and Donaldson, nobody else has really done much. So I'm going to go with Toronto because they can score 7 runs in any given game.
Okay.
And Manoah's had pretty good numbers against the Yankees.
Yeah, he has. It's been a small sample size, but he's done fine. Peter Wolf letting you know that you have time to wreck it all, by the way, Scott. You're still young. I do. J.R. Black says...
Hold my beer.
J.R. Black says Allie loves life, no regrets. I totally agree. That's fantastic. I got no beefs with. What am I going to be the one to talk about people doing crazy shit? I'm not. Somebody said I probably forgot a lot of good stories. I promise you that is true. I will run into people that I haven't seen in years and they're like, remember that time at that party where you did that thing? I'm like, I don't remember.
I need a trigger or a cue. If somebody cues up a memory, I can remember the entire thing. But I can't personally think of it myself. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Yeah, it definitely helps if somebody will remind me where it was or who we were with or
T-Train, you think I don't know about Mackenzie Gore? Come on, man. Disrespectful, man. I know all about Mackenzie Gore. Might have a shot at Rookie of the Year.
What do you think about the Astros rookie, Pena?
What do I think about him?
Yeah.
So far, so good. I mean, of course, the sample size is pretty short, so you're going to have to wait and see. But I do believe that he could turn into something. Houston, I thought, looked pretty good over the weekend. They did not get the sweep, but they won. What, they win 2 out of 3, or is it 3 out of 4?
Which one?
Houston.
They did not get.
They won again yesterday.
Yeah, I think they got. Did they play every day? Is that right?
I thought they played every day. I thought they played 4.
It does seem weirdly accurate, and I don't know why they
I'm
would.
pretty sure they played 4.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So Houston looked good. The Angels did not. Shout out to Joe Adell, by the way, who finally did something productive. He had that nice catch yesterday. What an awful player. Just a complete segue there. The thing about baseball is that people always talk about NBA busts and how a lot of players don't pan out. Of course, the sport with the most busts would be baseball because you have 40 rounds per draft.
Right.
But Adele was this 5-star prospect who's supposed to be really, really good. I don't think I've ever seen him do anything before yesterday's catch. I think he started the season with 5 at-bats, 5 strikeouts, not to mention the fielding errors he had in the opening game. He's just not very good, and it's fine to admit that he was a 5-star prospect who's still young, but he is just not it. You?
Yeah,
he's a career 180 hitter. I don't really know what you need to say.
Well, and there's some argument about that because Moose started the season his career really slow, and there was an argument about how many at bats you needed to see. Some people were talking about you needed 2,000 at bats before you knew what you had. 2,000 big league at bats. I think that seems a little high, but
I think you could divide it into seasons. He's in the beginning of like his 3rd season or around there in the league. Of course, the at bats don't even work now because he had a 60-game season.
Right. No, that's also
so you can't even factor that in. But exactly, Sean. That's kind of my thoughts on Joe Adell. It's like Billy Beane was a 5-tool player. Yeah, Joe Adell was too. He can't hit a curveball.
So Hammer and Hank asking about what are we doing on San Diego, San Francisco. I have a premium on that, so I won't speak to it. Scott, what do you like on that San Francisco San Diego game?
I can't really go against Alex Wood because I'm a fan of his. I think that he's a good pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Martinez is a good story because I'm sure a lot of you remember he used to be in Texas, wasn't very good. He hasn't really pitched in the majors in about 3-4 years, but he's good in spring training. He made the roster, so good for him. San Diego looked pretty good against Arizona, but you're facing off against Arizona. You better look good. That's how I'd phrase it because Arizona sucks. I'm going to go with the Giants. I don't mind a first inning no run. I do think you'll see a lower scoring game. We've seen Giants have pretty low scoring games to start the season. I think you'll see Wood pitch well. Probably 6 innings, 1 run, something like that. I don't mind Giants first 5 on the run line potentially.
Okay. Are you going to call it a Nerfie or does that sound stupid to you and you refuse?
I prefer Slurpees over Nerfies.
It's just I've got enough time to say no run first inning. Yes,
I have enough time to say it too. I don't mind it though. Yerfie though, that's a game changer. Like Nerfie, no. Yerfie's okay. I can get behind that.
All right, fair enough. Reminds me of Barry season 3. Is that out? I didn't know Barry season 3 was out. What talk about a fucking left turn. You watch Barry, Scott?
I know what it is. I can't say I've watched it. I know it's the secret agent show. I know about it.
Okay, it's not a secret agent show, but
no, he plays a spy type of
he's
hitman.
He's a hitman. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, but it's under wraps. It's a secret.
Or he's an actor that happens to have an interesting side hustle.
He's like John Wilkes Booth before the greater good.
Yeah, there you go. Guys played 80 games. Give Adele and really a lot of these guys 2 years.
I'm saying he's played 80 games. I get it. It's divided among several seasons, but people keep talking about how he's supposed to be this guy. You got to show me something.
Sean brings up a good point though, because you got to remember, not only did the COVID season cost major league players, they shut down the minors, so you had a whole year of development that was just gone.
I didn't say it was totally his fault. I'm just acknowledging that as of right now, he has not really shown any strides whatsoever to turning into a solid outfielder. And some of it's instinctive. Like, it's one thing if you're going to struggle against major league pitching. I can get that, of course, because it's night and day comparing AAA to major league rosters in terms of pitching. But even the outfield, he looks so uncomfortable out there. And it's a position he's played for a while. So I don't know. It just seems like nothing's really clicking.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get that. It's I will I'm probably in the Sean camp. I probably give him this season to see, just because it's been so weird, the 20 and 21.
I'm aware I'm being harsh. I just feel like he has expectations and I just don't see it.
Okay. By the way, I always talk about that we have like some of the best handicappers in the comment section. We got some funny motherfuckers in there too. I can't even read all this shit. But if you're not reading, if you guys are watching the show and you're not reading the comment section, you are missing out on probably better than half the show. Because it's just you and I trying to be funny.
We got jokes, man. Plus, it's also a light card because you only have baseball.
Right,
so,
right.
I don't know if you want to briefly segue into some NBA playoff
little NBA stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything that jumps off the page to you?
Yeah, we can, because we haven't had a lot of people. I think we've addressed every game that I've seen pop up. If you guys had a question about a game, yeah, I agree. And being a Royals fan, Sean, I totally see that because, Whit didn't get to the majors till he was 28, 27. So, I come from a very conservative farm system that really, really overdevelops guys. So yeah, I
think
totally
that your farm system though is definitely on the more cautious side. But I mean, to segue with the Royals quickly, you got to talk about your pitching coach or something because none of these young guys are getting it.
I found a hard time believing that
you had like 5 young pitchers that got shelled the other day.
Yeah. I really have a hard time believing they brought him back. I really thought they'd get somebody that was more adept at working with youngsters because...
And they need to, because right now the pitching coach doesn't seem to be developing anybody, at least to a degree that's noticeable. Singer got shelled, Bubic got shelled, the entire team basically got shelled. It might be one game, but I know you've mentioned it before. You're not a fan of the pitching coach. I know the Royals faithful are not that big of a fans of the actual pitching coach. Is he as bad as people are talking about? Because it does seem concerning that most of the young guys have not looked at.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at results. It's Cal Eldred, by the way. I was as I often do, blanking on the name, but it's you look for more development. These guys were all drafted. Again, we talked about it last year. It's the first time that the guys that were drafted in all 1 year have all started a game in the same season. They were all drafted in 2017. They were pretty developed. Most of them were college guys. So you just kind of had to point them in the right direction, and yeah, it's been very disappointing from that standpoint. And to me, that's his main job right now is to develop those youngsters coming up. They've been okay with the bullpen guys. The Scott Barlows and Manba and Stallmont and those guys, but Kowar was brutalized yesterday, as was of course Bubic didn't even make it out of the first. He only went 2/3 of an inning. So it was a bad day for the Royals youngsters.
And Kowar has looked completely lost.
Awful.
But of course, he was a top-tier prospect, which once again goes back to the point I made about Adele. Is he actually worthy of being considered a true future piece? Or is he just a potential bust? We don't know. I do think it's really weird that Kowar was so dominant and now he can't get an out.
Yeah.
Something doesn't really add up.
No, I agree. I totally agree. And I worry about it being a lost season because of the pitching. We did very well against Cleveland the first 2 games, but
depends on how you define a lost season. Because you thought they might have had a wild card shot, especially since they added a team.
I thought 500 was their ceiling, and that might get them in the wild card conversation.
It depends how you define a loss, because 500 still means you missed the playoffs. But as long as your young guys show some development, then I guess that's considered a win.
I would consider a loss if going backwards as far as record goes. Okay. That's what I would consider a lost season because. You always trust the process. Everybody says that about their team, and it's become a meme. But it really is sort of a blueprint in place, at least for this Royals franchise, and it just involves incremental improvement every season. So, Kansas City plus 115. Were they down 4-1, JoJo?
They're down 4-2, but they have second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, I would. What's the over? 11.5. I would be tempted by that too.
Probably.
Greinke did look decent. He did. He threw strikes. He was able to get guys out. I was most impressed by Keller.
Of course, I was going to say Keller was nails.
Well, was it last year that he started off like his first 10, or he didn't lose for his first 10 starts or whatever it was? Yeah.
I don't remember if that was last year or that was during the pandemic.
I can't. It was
one year where he was really solid to start. Then it fell off a cliff, but he was good to start.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick here. Switching gears just a tad. Jazz Mavs, you talked about it. Jazz now the favorites in this minus 175. Mavs plus 155. Any value there taking, you're getting the Mavs better than 3-2 without Doncic, though. What are we doing?
Well, it's without full strength Doncic, but I can't take Dallas. You're looking at a spot where I think Utah game 1 might even just be a blind play. I know Utah's not great on the road, but you're going to rush Doncic back with a calf injury and expect them to lay points at home. I can't lay points with Doncic being well below 100%. I'm going to go with Utah. Do I think it's going to be an easy series? No, because I don't think Utah's very good. But I do think that Utah would eventually win in 6 or 7, give or take.
Yeah, I don't think they sweep. I think Dallas can steal a couple, especially at home. But
I think the play is, if you like Dallas, potentially wait, because if you think Utah steals game 1, you'll get yourself a hell of a prize.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, I thought Utah was a dog in game 1. Yeah, Utah's favored -2.5 in game 1, which means that Doncic is potentially going to be out. Keyword potentially, but once again, he'll be limited. The fact that Utah is favored on the road in game 1 tells me what I kind of need to know in this series. Not to mention the fact that I do think Doncic should pretty much dominate Dwight Powell the entire series. So that Gobert should dominate Powell the entire series. So for me, I'm going to go with Utah. I don't like that team at all, but Doncic's injury is extremely concerning.
Raptors, Sixers, just about the same price. In fact, it is the same price where I'm looking. Sixers -175, Raptors +155. Now this is huh?
I'm going Toronto.
Yeah, I was thinking this is a long shot where a dog that I'm tempted by. Toronto's. They've covered all 4, and they've beat them 3 out of 4 straight up this season. I know that's a Philadelphia team that's very tough when they all play together and when they all play well. That's not something you can generally count on for a lot of games in a row with the Sixers. I'm on the Raptors there too. I think that's the dog shot.
Did you hear the press conference from Doc Rivers yesterday?
No.
Next level stupidity by Doc Rivers. So I ended up losing one of my parlay pieces, my final parlay piece. I had DeAndre Jordan double-double at +400 because Embiid wasn't playing. He's going to get boosted minutes, whatever. So Paul Reed was the backup center. He played really well. He had a career high, I think it was like 25 points. So he played really well. And they asked him in the postgame, so, what's going to be your story with the backup center? Are you going to roll with DeAndre? Are you going to roll with Paul Reed? And Doc Rivers basically just roasted Reed for a couple of minutes and said, we're trying to win a championship. We're going with DeAndre Jordan. And I'm like, have you watched DeAndre Jordan play for the last 2-3 years? Like, he sucks. So Doc Rivers against Nick Nurse, have fun. Because he's going to get exposed. And Nurse, they just beat him about a week or 2 ago. Harden, we've talked about, has really struggled scoring recently because it seems like he's really battling something because he's really just not moving too well. But Toronto is a complete team, and Tybal can't play on the road. That hurts a lot. I'm going to go with Toronto.
Welcome to the 2022 NBA edition of Scott Hates Your Coach. This year's contestants, Doc Rivers.
In my defense, I do think that most NBA fans generally, including Philly fans, think that Doc Rivers is an idiot.
Okay.
I mean, he has the all-time record for most blown 3-1 leads. I'm probably not in the minority.
Okay.
When it comes to criticizing Doc Rivers as a coach. Just saying.
All right.
Who would you rather have? Nick Nurse or Doc Rivers?
That's a silly question.
It's not even close. Of course, you take Nick Nurse. So I'll take him in a series.
Bronco Devil saying Witt Jr. highlights look great today. On that Saturday game, he made that throw from his basically seat of his pants, throw the guy out in extra innings at home. He looked like Brooks Robinson. Yesterday, he looked like Mrs. Robinson out there playing third. No, I don't think he had any official errors, but there were some plays I thought he could have made that he didn't make it third. He's still
all I know is he made the play. He made the early play of the year with the throw home in extra innings.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep, no question. He hasn't hit the ball great yet. But hopefully,
do you want to go bold with the Toronto series? Do you like them -1.5? Do you think it goes 7? Do you have any thoughts on the actual length?
I'm not going to get out over my fucking skis on taking a 3-2 long shot, so I'm just going to take the 155 and be happy.
Okay, fair enough.
I know that they were asking a little bit about the Rangers game. Switching back to baseball for a second. I gotta click back.
Well, you got the Rockies on the road. And last year, they were historically awful on the road.
That went well. Yeah.
Them and Arizona, historically bad on the road. But for me, I actually kind of do like Colorado here. But I'm biased because I'm a big Gomber guy. I like Gomber. I think he's good. Now, Hearns actually did have some moments last year. But I'm actually going to go with Colorado. I think they have the better starting pitcher, and I think you're getting a decent price.
Were you surprised that Colorado got a couple games from LA over the weekend?
I was not surprised Marquez won. Somebody reached out to me on Twitter and asked if I had any thoughts about the Rockies in that game. I said I like the Rockies because Marquez is always undervalued at home, and he's really good at home every single year. I was surprised they won Sunday, but we've seen the Dodgers get off to slow starts before. Absolutely. It doesn't mean anything.
Nope.
So I'm not really concerned about that, but props to the Rockies, though. You know, I saw Bud Black got his 1,000th career win as a manager, so good for him. But no, I think the Rockies, though, they're not a good team, but I like them over the win total when we went through the division breakdown. I think they'll win 76, something like that, give or take. Maybe not 76. Maybe I forgot what the win total was. I think they'll get into the low to mid 70s. But for me, I'm going to go with the Rockies tonight. I think they're the better starting pitcher. You?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've been impressed by Daniel Bard as a closer. Broncos saying struck out the side on Saturday. He did. I actually took them on Clars on our picks. That was one of my picks. I had the Rockies on the money line at plus 160. It dropped down to about plus 140 by game time. But yeah, I like that. Royals tied it up. Thanks for all the heads up, guys. I appreciate it. How about those Royals? Might be a game by the time I can actually watch it. Phillies tonight against the Mets. Skeets.
We're going to talk about that game later.
Yeah, we are going to maybe talk about that game here in just a minute, as a matter of fact. Let's finish up basketball real quick. We don't have much time for these, but the other one is the Nuggets Warriors.
We're going to save the play-in game stuff for the actual play-in games, so we're going to wait on those.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Nuggets Warriors.
I like Golden State. I mean, Curry's supposed to come back. Clay's been his old self. He's been ridiculous. I believe he had 40 last night. Poole's been great. One of the serious candidates for most improved player. Great scenario for me, by the way, because I got Phoenix to win the West and Golden State to win the title. They did avoid each other until the Western Conference Finals, so I got what I needed. Yep. I'm happy about it. But Denver is not very good. And I know that Murray was supposed to potentially come back. That's not happening. Porter is done for the year. We know that already. And they lost to the Lakers yesterday. I know Jokic didn't play. That kind of goes to my point. They gave up a triple-double and 30-plus points to Austin Reeves. Like, this isn't a good basketball team. It's fine because Jokic will win MVP. He's an all-time great center. And I know Denver was pretty good in the regular season meetings, but we saw it in the last meeting. Golden State has a gear that they can flip at the end of games, and Denver doesn't have that. So if you're asking me what I think is going to happen in the series, I think Golden State wins. I really don't mind minus 1.5 games.
That's the only play if you're going to play that series in my eyes.
I think they're going to win in 5 or 6.
Okay.
You?
Yeah, I'm the same way. This Denver team, they just can't close, Scott. They just can't.
Golden State can. Now, I don't think Denver's going to get swept. I think they'll win a game. I think Jokic will potentially go for 40 and 20 in one game, and they might win one. But when it comes to actual just series spreads, Golden State minus 1.5, I like.
All right.
I think they'll win in 5 or 6.
All right. Hey, what the? Look, okay, I am outraged. Groovy Cap says, help him out on the Bet the Farm today because his ex-girlfriend put a curse on him and said he wouldn't win in sports anymore.
So I need some background information.
What kind of fucking vindictive bullshit? Man, that's brutal. Scott with green t-shirts is undefeated for Bet the Farm. That is...
I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to roll with it. It's the color of money.
He must have gone to the Elias Sports Bureau for that stat. I think that's you have to pay to get that one. All right,
it's
Groovy.
a whole bureau, and all they do is give you obscure baseball stuff.
Man, Groovy Caps, this may not be the day to break your stink because we're going to take a dog shot. We're going to take a little spin on a dog here, so we'll see. She jinxed me over the weekend. Need the farm. All right. It's a lot of pressure.
I'm imagining a voodoo doll but it's just a bet slip of a parlay.
Yeah,
It's
see,
like
we're making
stabbing the bet slip.
we're making a value play for the farm. It's not a it's a bet that's going to lose more than it's going to win.
I'm gonna be honest. The card today kind of sucks. I mean, we both took plays on the same game for our free plays, different plays though, and then you ended up having a couple of premium plays, which of course I'm not going to mention. But the point is, the card itself is baseball and one hockey game because you have a random day off in the NBA. So you know we got creative.
Last one. Any value on the Bucks at 750? I mean on the Bulls.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
I think the Bucks win in either 4 or 5.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to put $50 on the Bulls just because it's plus 750.
I would take minus 2.5 for the games.
Okay.
I got to remember what that actual price is if I could actually find it. Let me see what that is. I'm assuming 2.5 is probably going to be like minus 1. Oh, it's minus 195. Oh, that's rough. You go with Giannis over in points per game averages. Like I don't know. I mean, it's really tough to find value, but Milwaukee won the series 4-0. Chicago sucks, and Milwaukee should kill this team. I mean,
I know.
Is there anything to like about Chicago? Like they've been playing like a lottery team since the All-Star break.
Levine coming back.
Levine has been playing. Lonzo's done for the year.
Yeah, I knew that.
He's not coming back, and I mean Milwaukee. They know they purposefully tanked just so they could play Chicago. They're gonna kick the crap out of Chicago.
All right.
I mean, that's how it goes.
Okay. All right.
If you're taking a shot with Chicago like you are, you're hoping Giannis gets injured. That's really the only hope you have.
Not hoping for anybody's injury, but
I'm just saying it's the only way you're going to win.
Okay.
So.
All right. I think people in the comment section agree that's an evil thing to do. To put a jinx on somebody. Put a jinx on somebody. Somebody said burn some sage. You ever burnt sage, Scott? You ever done it?
Not intentionally.
Yeah, we've cleansed every place we've moved into. My wife will burn sage. You know what? Still here.
Does she say any like demon, like like be gone spirits type of thing, or no?
No. It's not.
I don't know what's in the manual. I don't know if you're supposed to say anything while you use the sage.
You can't.
I gotta ask Kyrie what his sage practices are.
I'd rather have her scratch my car than mess with my sports betting. No shit. You can, yeah, dude. You can go get a car fix. You can get a key scratch fix, but jinxing your sports betting. Well, Groovy, I hate to say it. We're going to see how the farm does, but if there's no success with the farm tonight, you're going to have to get back with her. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say we're going to blame you. So
we are 100%. 100% going to blame. Well, we're going to blame his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, we're going to blame his.
And he's going to
not him personally.
He's going to have to take one.
He's the victim here.
He's going to have to take one for the team and get back together with her. All right, so. All right, man, it's time to do it. Let's see how our timing is running today, Scott. Let's see if we can get it all done. It is time once again. You know the drill. Put on your overalls. Put on your fine straw capery, and let's do it, Scott. Let's climb aboard our John Deere. Get those lucky keys out, and get ready to bet the farm. I said, bet the farm. All right. Hey, how about that? There it is. It's the Bet the Farm hats. Greetings. That's right. Hello, everybody.
Greetings. Salutations.
And greetings and salutations. All right, guys. Well, we talked about it. We've got the Bet the Farm play lined up. Surprise, it's going to be a baseball play. And it's going to be the New York Baseball Mets plus 140. And I do have the I can't really show a picture. I've got a picture of the of Taijuan Walker, so congratulations. Taijuan Walker, he's made 6 starts against the Phillies. He's getting the start tonight, and he has pitched pretty well. 32 1/3 innings, 3.34 ERA. The Mets, 1.46 bullpen ERA this season. Philadelphia, to the surprise of no one, bullpen has been the weak spot so far, 4.50. The Mets, they are 8-3 in their last 11 against the intra-division rivals there in the NL East, and the Phillies are 1-6 in their last 7 games against the National League East. So we like the Mets tonight. It's really about value, guys. I've got this rated somewhere in the neighborhood of plus 120 to 123. So in my eyes, that is value, and that is there it is. That's a play that we're gonna make. And again, you have to remember, anytime you're taking plus money, especially in a 7-5 spot like this, it's a bet you're going to lose more than you're going to win. But the value, the overlay is there. Scott, any final thoughts?
I just think this game's a lot closer than the odds reflected, which is what you were talking about. But the Mets entered the season as pretty much the favorites to win the actual division. I think that the Mets are a pretty solid team. Offensively, they've looked pretty good so far. Of course, the Phillies have the very solid offense, which could be a concern for Taijuan Walker. But the bullpen's so bad, I do think you'll end up seeing the Mets hang around. This Mets team so far has looked pretty good. So I think plus 140 is a bit disrespectful.
And if it turns into a little bit of a slugfest, it's not like the Mets are going to roll over and die. They don't have the sticks that Philly has, but you know what? They can bop some balls as well. So
yeah, once again, I mean, you go through the numbers. Ranger Suarez was good last year, but I need a little bit of a larger sample size. I've seen Walker pitch several years. He's pretty good, but I got to wait and see if Suarez was actually this phenomenal pitcher or if he just had a great stretch.
Right.
I'm assuming it was the latter.
Yep, started the season in the bullpen, so the arm wasn't worn out. So we'll see how that goes, but that's our play for tonight. We got the Mets plus 140. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. I guess if we've learned nothing else today, it's be nice to your significant others, or there's a fucking jinx coming. So
your ex-significant others.
Well, I assumed it turned into the ex. I assumed it turned into the ex fairly recently, and then she put the hex on him.
Could be
the ex hex. I don't know, man. At any rate, be nice. Take them out to dinner. It's a slow night on the card. It's a good time to take your girlfriend, your wife. Take them both out. Take a shot. That's all I'm saying. Shoot your shot. Whatever. Take them out.
Way around it, by the way.
What's that?
The next time you would have some type of anniversary or something.
Yeah.
Instead of a gift, you buy them a parlay.
Oh.
They can't root against your bad luck because they're in it now.
Oh, that's some next level shit right there, buddy.
That's next level stuff.
That is thinking right there. All right, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. That's going to do it for the farm. That's going to do it for the show. As always, we thank you for sticking with us, hanging out, doing your thing. Good luck tonight on all your plays. Let's have some fun. Let's make a little money. And we'll be back to do it again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I will do our very best to help you to head back to the window. Take care, everybody.